Hello students, hope you all are doing well. I'm Supreet Kaur, welcomes all of you on our YouTube channel Smart PT Tricks. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for your love and support. And today I'm here to announce that now we are arranging our online classes again. For some circumstances, we were not arranging online classes and we got some complaints from all of you who are interested. But now we are arranging online classes on time, especially reading and speaking modules. And if you are interested, you can contact us on the number given below, as our contact preferences are changed now. And again, I would like to thank all of you from depth of my heart, because with your love and support we are reaching here. And keep supporting.
Nature offers no greater splendor than the starry sky on a clear, dark night. Silent and jeweled with the constellations of ancient myth and legend, the night sky has inspired wonder throughout the ages, a wonder that leads our imaginations far from the confines of Earth and the pace of the present day and out into the distant reaches of space and cosmic time itself.
Quite obviously, a significant rise in the number of people in a given area or country will affect the demand for a whole host of goods and services. Note that a change in the structure of the population will increase the demand for some goods but reduce the demand for others.
We can tether turtles in these little cloth harnesses, put them into this tank and dull swimming places. University of North Carolina biologist Ken Lehman studies sea turtles that are programmed from birth for an extraordinary journey. Mother turtles buried the eggs on the beach and then returned to the sea, and the eggs hatch about 50 to 60 days later.
Many technologies have promised these qualities, but few have been commercially viable. What's been lacking is the performance data needed to demonstrate that these technologies are durable, genuinely environmentally beneficial, and suitable to be insured. Over the past 13 years, our Department of Architecture and Civil Engineering has led on research into straw as a low-impact building material.
In such an environment, warfare is no longer purely directed against the military potential of adversarial state. It is rather directed at infiltrating all areas of their societies and to threaten their existences. The comparatively easy access to weapons of mass destruction, in particular relatively and low-cost biological agents, is of key concern. Both government and non-governmental actors prefer to use force in a way that can be characterized as unconventional, or also as small wars. War waged according to conventions is an interstate phenomenon.
Disabled people were among the early adopters of personal computers, for some of which, information in electronic format can be more accessible than printed information, and online communication can enable disabled students to communicate with their peers on an equal basis, so people's disabilities are not necessarily visible in online communication systems, and disabled people do not have to declare the disability and are not perceived as being different. Water is at the core of sustainable development. Water resources, and the range of services they provide, underpin poverty reduction, economic growth and environmental sustainability. From food and energy security to human and environmental health, water contributes to improvements in social well-being and inclusive growth, affecting the livelihoods of billions. In a sustainable world that is achievable in the near future, water and related resources are managed in support of human well-being and ecosystem.
Disabled people were among the early adopters of personal computers. They were quick to appreciate that word processing programs and printers gave them freedom from dependence on others to read and write for them. Some of these disabled early adopters became very knowledgeable about what could be achieved and used their knowledge to become independent students at a high level.
Every year, up to 8,000 qualified and experienced women and men of some 160 different nationalities volunteer to help others at the United Nations Volunteers (UNV) program. Moreover, these UN volunteers work in some 130 countries promoting peace, responding to disasters, empowering communities and helping to build sustainable livelihoods and lasting development. And lastly, being a UN volunteer is not a career, but it is rich with opportunities and experience and offers huge personal rewards. Although some brands stay fresh for generations, Marmite is over 100 years old, others become jaded due to changes in consumer tastes and lifestyles. At this point, the firms need to refresh the brand image to keep the products relevant to the target market. A clear objective must be set. Delivering packages with drones will scale back CO2 emissions if the drones haven't got to fly terribly way to their destinations, while the carbon edges erode because the weight of a package increase, but trucks become a lot of climate-friendly various once a delivery route has several stops. Honey, with the same functions as drugs used by athletes for high athletic performance and less negative impact, has a milder effect on blood sugar than other popular forms of carbohydrate gel, and speeds muscle recovery after a workout.
The importance of international studies and foreign language education for U.S. Economic and National Security Committee for Economic Development. To confront the 21st century challenges to our economy and national security, our education system must be strengthened to increase the foreign language skills and cultural awareness of our students. Disabled people were among the early adopters of personal computers, for some of which, information in electronic format can be more accessible than printed information, and online communication can enable disabled students to communicate with their peers on an equal basis, so people's disabilities are not necessarily visible in online communication systems and disabled people do not have to declare the disability and are not perceived as being different. People differ greatly in all aspects of what is casually known as intelligence. The differences are apparent not only in school, from kindergarten to college, but also in the most ordinary circumstances, in the words people use and comprehend, in the differing abilities to read a map or follow directions, or in their capacities for remembering telephone numbers or figuring change. The variations in these specific skills are so common that they are often taken for
People have evolved to sleep much less because humans' ancestors descended from the trees to sleep on the ground, having to spend more time awake to guard against predators, and another feature may reflect intense pressure humans face to learn and teach new skills and to make social connections. As sleep declined, rapid eye movement took on an outsized role, but REM has been linked to learning and memory.
With early silent movies often accompanied by live piano or organ music, audiences captivated by the experience of watching moving pictures on the silver screen, and it wasn't until 1923 that a synchronized soundtrack was photographically recorded and printed onto the side of the strip of motion picture film and made it onto a commercially distributed movie, and the first movie theaters were called Nickelodeons.
Nutrition science is a very young science, and someday the field may produce definitive answers to the nutritional questions that concern us, but it knows a lot less about nutrition than you would expect because it only got started less than 200 years ago and is today approximately where surgery was in the year 1650.
As a farming technique in West Africa can convert nutrient-poor rainforest soil into fertile farmland. Researchers discovered enduringly fertile, carbon-rich black soils named African dark earths, and similar soils in pre-Columbian eras have also been discovered, although the techniques are unknown. So researchers in the West Africa study were able to live within communities as they created their fertile soils, which could be the answer to mitigating climate change and revolutionizing farming across Africa.
No, Mandeville spoke is not really about actually real foreign lands. It's about what Europeans thought that was just outside the bounds of their civilizations. It's about what's beyond that mountain range that marks the borders of the lands you know. It's about what medieval people thought the foreign looks like. And all of it is mysterious, alluring, and intimidating unknown.